Hello everybody and welcome to the Top Producer Show. So the whole point of this show is to show you guys what it actually takes to become a top producer in network marketing. However, all of the methods that we actually use in our traditional businesses as well. So you can take them into other things. So we are going over, actually you have the book, Atomic Habits. So we are on chapter 19 today, the Goldilocks Rule and how to stay motivated in life and work. Hello everybody on Instagram. So we got two cameras going here, so I'll be switching back and forth talking to all of you. But anywho, the human brain loves challenge, but only if it's in the optimal zone of difficulty. So if you like to play tennis and you're playing with somebody who's 4 years old, you're not going to be challenged enough, so then you're going to get bored. However, if you play with a professional tennis player, it's going to be way too difficult, and then you're going to want to give up and you're not going to have any interest anymore. But playing somebody who has equal skills, as the game progresses, you have a chance of winning because they'll get a couple of points and then you'll get a couple of points, and you're really actually going to try to win the game, compared to if you play somebody who's little or if you're playing with a professional. So your focus narrows and direction and distractions fade away if you find yourself fully invested in a task at hand. But it comes from having that perfect medium of like, it's not too difficult and it's not too hard. So this is a challenge to manage of manageable difficulty, and it's one of the examples of what he gives as the Goldilocks Rule, which is human experience peak motivation when working on tasks that are right on the edge of current ability. So it's not too hard, it's not too easy, it's just right, and it's pushing you a little bit. So improvement requires delicate balance, and you need it regularly to search for a challenge that push you to the edge while continuing to make enough progress to keep you motivated. So I kind of half agree and half don't agree, because that's why you have to have a process, because there's going to be days where we are not motivated and it is going to seem extremely boring, especially as you start getting better at this. We have always taught the text message system where we have leads, and we text our leads every day, and we go through that process, and it does get boring after a while. And that's when everybody's just like, oh, well, maybe I can do it this way, or maybe I can make this automated instead of having to do this tedious work all the time. But that is the work that gets you the results. So a lot of times people switch because they get bored of it and they want to do something else. So you got to just stay on task. So that's why it's having the system in place, and it's doing the not fun work to get to where you want to be. So how to stay focused when you get bored working on your goals. So at some point, it comes down to who can handle the boredom of training every single day and doing the same lifts over and over and over again. So mastery requires practice, but the more you practice something, the more boring the routine becomes. So as I mentioned, as you get used to this, it's going to become more difficult to be motivated to do it, because once you master it, it's boredom. So as soon as we experience the slightest dip in motivation, we begin to seek new strategies to even to something that is still working. So, and we see it all the time, and we're guilty of it too. Because we've done that a couple of times where we have a process, it's working, and it's working well for everybody, but then it's just kind of like, man, I feel like I need to switch it up a little bit. But that's also basic human need too. Like we have the need for variety, but we also have the need for, safety and security, but we also have the need for variety. So if things stay the same for far too long, you're gonna switch things up. But by stepping up when it's annoying and painful or draining, to do to do so. What makes the difference? That's what makes the difference between a professional and an amateur, because professionals stick to the schedule and amateurs let life get in the way. And professionals know what's important to them and work towards it with a purpose, and amateurs get pulled away by the urgencies of life. So basically, to kind of pull from this chapter and kind of construct it in a way that's going to be helpful to you guys, that is always why we have this system, and you got to understand where your goals are at and what it's going to take to get there. Now, occasionally stuff comes up where a process isn't working. You got to be able to recognize that, because you might have to change something in the process, but that's only if it's not working. But if it is working, you have to just stick to it. But that's why having the numbers in front of you and tracking and keeping track of all of that is going to keep you on task and keep you motivated. And at some point, it's just you got to do the work that you don't want to do to be able to go do the work that you do want to do. Because as you get more skilled in this, you're going to have different responsibilities as you build a team. But it's not until you have that where you're able to do things that challenge you more to then get you to the next level. But you have to start there and maintain consistency. And it's just, you have to be a little hard on yourself. But that's kind of my takeaways from this chapter. But do you have anything that you would like to add?
Yeah, so, if the greatest threat to success is boredom, then this is the reason why the best people in the world are always surrounded by coaches and or other people who are basically running for the same goal. This is the reason why when I'm watching, the Mr. Olympias, the best, bodybuilders in the world, they're typically getting together and working out together. Why? Because they have mastered the art of lifting the weight. They've mastered the art of growth. They've mastered the art of, muscle definition. But what they're actually working on is keeping themselves going to peak at the absolute best level. And typically they'll do that with other people who are kind of at that level, because it wouldn't make sense to go in and train with somebody who can lift 1/100th of the weight they can lift and 1/100th of the number of times they can lift it. So they get together in a group. Real estate people do the same thing. Typically they're not getting together with the newest person that's starting in real estate. The guys who are advanced get together with the guys who are advanced. That's just how it works. The same thing is true in commercial. The same thing is true in residential. You're putting yourself in an environment of growth. And that kind of solves a lot of the boredom problem, because typically people who are extremely competitive. That's just how it works. So anyone can work hard when they feel motivated. It's the ability to keep going when it isn't exciting that makes all the difference in the world. So John Maxwell says, a lot of people try to set a goal and run for the goal, but he's like, it's really not the goal, it's the growth. Like, how far could you go? When you're finding somebody to work out with, you have to find somebody who's ahead of you. Simply because if you don't find somebody who's ahead of you at what you're doing, and that's not who you're working out with, or who you're running with, or who you're partnering, or who your accountability partner is, they don't know what the next step is if they haven't already achieved it. So it's like you always constantly are trying to get with somebody who's a few levels in front of you, because they're going to know what to do. They're going to know what to say. They're going to know how to help you to get to the next level. And, I'm specifically talking for direct sales, network marketing. If you're in real estate, if you're in insurance, if you're in financial services, this makes the most sense. Professionals stick to a schedule. Amateurs wing it. That's basically how it works. Professionals find the best time to do things and do them consistently over a long enough period of time. Everybody else wings it. And that's a huge difference. I'm going to fit it in when I can fit it in, versus this is the best time to do it, and I'm going to do it at that time consistently, because that's where the biggest return is. That's where I can, succeed the fastest. So that's what I got out of the chapter.
All right, great. So if this was helpful, we do have a lead program, and we do have a process to show people like what it, like how to present, how to text leads, where to go find leads, and how to do all that. So if you guys are struggling with who to go talk to and how to go talk to those people, we do have a program for you guys to go through, which is through my
Join my leadership.
Join. Sorry, it's still a little early for us. So it's joinmyleadershipnetwork.com. You want to go there and you want to go join the community. You don't have to buy anything, but go take a look at it, see if there's something there that can help you, and we can see how we can help you guys. So with that, we are here Monday through Friday at noon. And we are going over books, we're going over trainings. Every time we go to a conference, like the 10X conference that we just went to, we're going to bring that information here and we're going to share it with you guys and show you it and teach to you what we have learned. And then how can you add it to what you are doing. So with that, that is what we have for you guys today. And we will see you tomorrow. Oh my goodness, my